I just got off that bus and I am just west of the bridge coming from downtown Spokane. This is close to the Fish Lake Trailhead where we went on a hottish day in the summer, and today I'm going somewhere else in this direction. The place I'm going to is beautiful and tranquil. I'm not experiencing that just yet. From the map, I didn't know that I'd be walking along a highway, but it's only for a couple thousand feet. You can see we actually have a path on the other side, and the reason I'm not taking that is I wanted to cross an intersection. On the way back, though, I might see if there's a way I can take that path. So that's good news. The place I'm looking for has access, and it's the next left. Type F in chat, as they say, and John Finch Arboretum. And so yeah, this is in kind of a surprising place, and apparently it's a very nice park and facility. And the entrance is just down this way, is the theory. But yeah, it'd be a hard place to miss if you didn't know it was here. So John A. Finch Arboretum, City of Spokane Parks and Recreation. That was something actually I was checking on before I got here, because I thought this might be a private facility or a university facility. And I was also afraid it might be like a, have a fee or be closed. And I checked on both of those things, and as far as I could tell, it is open year round to the public, and there's trails here, and I'm trying to find out if that's true. Apparently, much like we saw in Hamilton, there could be a moose here. That's a little bit of a surprise to me, because usually in Spokane I haven't even seen any like normal deer. But we are in the park, and I'm just going to follow those trails, see where they go. Touch and See Nature Trail. So this is a city park, and imagine that some of these exhibits are designed for like young people. And some of them are designed for old people like me. We have a little creek running through it. I'm not sure whether that creek is natural or semi-natural. The way it's flowing, it looks like it could have been channelized a little bit for aesthetic purposes. And look, we have a pedestrian footbridge. My favorite thing. So the path ended, and as far as I know, there's no prohibition on walking off path, so I'm just kind of wandering around. One thing, you can probably hear it, now you can see it. This is running right by the highway, and so that does in some ways disturb the tranquility. That would also maybe be less of a problem in spring or summer when there was the leaves to absorb that sound. I mentioned this when I was in the Seattle area, that I hadn't seen some alders for a while, and there's an alder tree, and of course this is an arboretum, so that might be planted as a specifically foreign tree, or there might be places around Spokane where alders grow naturally. That also kind of speaks to like why this might be an artificial canal here, is this might be for the purpose of irrigation and keeping lands wet so trees like alders can grow. And a note about that, so one obvious fact, kind of alluded to in the last two clips I recorded, I'm here in the middle of November, getting close to late November, which might not be the best time to visit an arboretum because it's not full of green leafy trees, stuff like that. One answer to that is that in Spokane, there might be about 8 weeks a year of ideal weather, because the trees start leafing out in May. Then by the middle of June, it gets pretty hot here. We can hope. In the subjunctive, by the way. And then there's like a couple of rest days, oasis days in the summer. Then you have a little bit of autumn when it cools down. But if you're looking for a totally ideal day to see nature, then that's why it's nature, because it's not ideal. It is what it is. And even though it's a little bit gloomy and gray, I like being here in November. So I took this path, and as far as I know, this is still the Arboretum, but it looks a lot less curated here. Looks like this group of trees here has been cold or had a fire. And there's a lot of invasive vegetation here. So this might be an area that either they're going to restore to natural or they're going to plant more exhibit trees, but it does look like the park is drawing to a close at some point up in this direction. There were a couple of people near the entrance, but since then I just saw 2 people coming down. That's actually how I knew the trail was in this direction. So at least if you're here in the middle of November, this is actually a park where you can get away and feel some tranquility, such as it is. The road noise does kind of disrupt that, but I've had worse Wednesdays. Caution sewer pipeline. Well, that kind of disrupts the bucolic tranquility that I feel here. And it looks like the path does go on, but not much longer. So I'm just gonna turn around and walk this way and walk out on like a different part of the loop than I came in on. Also, right now it is 2:45 p.m. Means I have about 90 minutes left until sunset. So my days, I have to plan them or else I will miss going outside and touching grass. And the walk back down is a lot like the walk up was. One thing that's interesting about this Arboretum is it does have some specimens of specific trees, of deciduous trees, most of which I can't tell what they are without looking at a sign because their leaves are gone. But it also has a lot of natural open woodland like we see here. And I don't think these trees were planted here. I think there's just the natural ponderosa woodland that grows most places around Spokane. Not that I'm complaining about it, but as an Arboretum, it seems to be partly just a natural woody park along with having some tree specimens. So it feels quite different than like Hoyt Arboretum in Washington Park in Portland, which has a lot of different trees from around the world. So it looks like I'm returning to the entrance to the park. So if I have to give a verdict, and I don't want to be too harsh, especially because it's a little bit unfair because I came here in the winter time when there's all the deciduous trees are dormant. But one thing is that it takes actually kind of a little bit of effort to get here. You have to like go off on the highway, and whether you're on foot or on a car, it's a little bit difficult to get here. And the thing is there's a lot of neighborhood parks like Manitou Park, or if you have access to the Centennial Trail, there's a lot of stuff like that around Spokane. And so this park, it's a nice little place to stroll, but it's not quite as spectacular and unique as to warrant it being like one of the first places you would go. And I'm glad I came here today, had a nice little walk around town, enjoyed the tranquility of this little creek. But I wouldn't say like it's a spectacular, unique, must-see location in Spokane. So I guess I wasn't missing too much to put it towards, waiting a while to see it. Anyway, so that is Finch Arboretum, which hopefully that last judgment wasn't too harsh because I still enjoyed being here. And that was where I went on a Wednesday. Maybe some of that is also just like I feel kind of Wednesday right now. Anyway, so there will be more, but I hope you enjoyed seeing Finch Arboretum in Spokane, Washington.